Okay, I stopped the previous video because I had a phone call. And so the car broke down and I'm in the middle of nowhere in a car full of Lego. And I stopped when the master told that the in the previous video about the self-inquisition or the who am I meditation or story. And the question or the information from the channeling was that when the master saw that one of his students has just sat down and doing his work, when he saw the student is down sitting and like in a way amazed or in a way blurred or in a way um, shocked maybe, but in a like a peaceful way, like he felt something, but what he felt he cannot explain. He just feels something, and he caused him a little bit blurredness in his mind, and he just sat down and he was like, what's going on? Like, I feel something. I feel something. And heck, okay, something is really wrong with the car, but it's fine. And he told the student to come, and he told him, you maybe will have many questions or some questions. You can easily come and ask them. That's no problem. And you have felt a little glimpse of the self, the nature of the self. You have felt a little of this energy, this awakening energy. And there are no tasks anymore for you. There is no task anymore for you. There's no teachings anymore. You can be here, you can meditate here, you can live here if you wish, and you will have a choice or a judgment that you will need to choose whether you want to be more exposed to the self or whether you want to go back to your life, let's say family life or whatever, and come back a little later when you're ready. Or do you feel like ready? Because maybe there's something that you still want to experience in this life. And in this case, the student didn't do anything. He just, okay, I will just live here and let's see what happens, like this. In my words, I have a dog underneath my legs. Son eats. So what happened later is that this student was living more and more deeper in this meditative state. He became more and more peacefuler. He became more and more aware of the now. He became more and more closer to the energy of the master, of the teacher. And maybe after a year or so, the students which the teacher sent away came back from their ordinary lives. And they came back with like 5. They came back like 3 or 5 people. I don't remember, but they came back in a group, and they were chatting with each other. And in this group, they were discussing about, yes, but you remember what the teacher said? The teacher said that this, but that was wrong. It's actually more better than this, and that is also wrong. And they were like building up concepts, what is right and what is wrong. And when they came to the teacher, they were, yeah, but remember you told us this and you taught us this, but that was wrong. And the teacher just looked to this student who received this enlightenment, part of the enlightenment. They just looked to each other, and through this eye vision, they both understood that it's no point of arguing with the mind. It's no point. They are just building up their own mind concepts. They're making a noise without feeling the self, without feeling the awareness of feeling the now state. They're just building up the noise. So, and there was a moment in the story when also the master took his students and After this meditation, he took his students to a to a place, to a cliff. Hello, yes. He took his students to this cliff, and there was a rock rolling down the cliff, or maybe there was a rock already that is down on the cliff. And after one meditation, he took the students to this cliff, and he was asking them, "What do you see?" And one of these students told, "Well, I see a rock." Other student told, "Well, I see a big rock." Some students said, "Well, maybe I see a heavy rock, or a rock that's falling down." And there were one student that said, "Well, I don't know. I'm just observing." He said, like, "I don't know. I'm just seeing. I'm just observing." He's like, "Well, yeah, I see the object, like the rock, but it's not that I want to any way classify it. It's not like I will want to any way judge this moment as whether it's a big or a small rock." And the teacher was looking at him. He said, "You understand, or it's not like he understands the concept, but he feels. He's in the state of feeling the concept. He's feeling the energy. He's feeling the self state." Let's just give it one more try. Nothing happening. And uh, and that was one of the decisions when the master, the teacher, made a choice to which students to continue practicing and which students to send home, or maybe come back later. And the final teaching was, the master took one of his best students, um, and told him, "Now you will come and to me, and I will meditate for you." And they went up somewhere a little bit higher in the mountains, not far from the temple where they lived. And the master showed, like, the master told, "I will enter into the higher self, and I will come back. And I just want you to witness this. I just want you to see this, to witness this." And the master went to the higher self. His body was still conscious, his body was still breathing, let's say, but there was a tremendous amount of energy that was blasting through. And this, when what I understood, when you become more and more connected to the self, you start receiving more and more this higher energy. And in the one place, because this is the true self, this is the higher self, the true your beingness, the true source of you, the true source of who you actually are. When it comes through you, or when you come closer to it, a huge, tremendous amount of energy comes through. And the master just wanted this student to feel this, because once he feels this, he will become more connected to the self as well. And then what happened after this, the student was seeing and feeling this pure, bright, white light and golden light around him, connected to it. It was like a separate consciousness of total acceptance and total love and total now state. It wasn't any judging in any way. He wasn't, in a way, it was like they felt that this singular consciousness, this higher energy, is connecting him, the master, and everything around. And there around, there were these other students that were maybe a little bit farther from this light, and citizens in the city that were really far away from this light. And the master knew that he feels it, because you can see it in his eyes when they look to each other. You can see it through this, the same energy and the same light is shining through them. And then his last teaching was to all of his students. He gathered up the students in a place in the mountains. The master sit down in a meditative state, and he just told this, what I saw. He told them, "Okay, my time has come. It's about time for me to go home, because the self was calling him to go back home. And I leave my teachings, and I have left my teachings to one of, or two of, or three of these students. He looked at them, and they both just started to smile. They both felt this self pureness energy without any judgment. And he just looked at them, and they just smiled, these three students. And the understanding in the channeling was that what I felt was that now you can carry on with, let's say, what I felt is that I wish you luck. I wish you luck with these teachings and sending these teachings forward, because the arguments with the mind and the new students is really, really tough. But anyway, um, being the self, or being exposed to the self, is being exposed to your true self, who you actually are. It's not being in a mind state when you understand everything. It's being in the energy state where, in a way, you understand it. You don't want to. You don't have any more questions. It's just a little blurred. It's a little blurred. Everything is a little bit blurred. The concepts have disappeared. The 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 way I lived has disappeared, and it's just the pure awareness and acceptance, like no any judgments. And of course, maybe you feel, you sense, you see a little bit more, like energetically, but it's not the point of it. When you see a person who has come to you, you see his path, you see his, let's say, emotions, his energy, his panics, his mind activity, and you already see the outcome of it, and you don't want to intervade into this. You can just allow it to be, and maybe say a couple of words and maybe a couple of sentences, and that's it. So there was a question. Okay, so what I would suggest for people who struggle find his life meaning, joy, and thank you for your videos. Um, I don't actually know how one could interpret finding his joy or finding his meaning of life. In a sense, the joy, you would say, is equally the same as itself meaning. The meaning. Joy is the meaning itself. So I would say that maybe there's more about finding the things that joy for you, the things that give joy. So, and to do this, many people are, let's say, conceptualize themselves into what I should do, what is the best thing that I should do. Should I go to work? Should I work? I need to work. And everybody around has taught what should you do, and you have accepted so many beliefs of it for these doings. So what I think the first thing to do is to come back a little away from and asking yourself, what are the things I would really, really wish to do right now? What are those things? And then allow those things a little bit more time, a little bit more chance to do those things actually, to be more connected and more doing those things. And that's when your inspiration will come up. That's when your joyful will come up, because you will start enjoying, because all those pleasurable things, all those things, they come up from your energy, from your let's say inspiration, from your soul, from yourself, whatever you call it. They come up with a joyful feeling to do something, and when you start doing that, you are in an even more joyful state, and you become more happier, more up, energy lifted. But when we are too smart, when we are telling ourselves what should we do and what should we not do, and limiting ourselves in a way, we are blocking this pure, pleasurable, joyful, exciting energy to be in ourselves, and thus then creating ourselves a little bit depressed, a little bit misleaded, a little bit misunderstood, and etc. and etc. and etc. So the way I think is becoming more of just simply asking, what is the thing that I truly wished to do right now? What are the things that I really, really wanted to do right now? And the body and the mind or the soul will give you a little bit of a feeling, and just start doing those things. Just start doing those things, and they will uplift your energy. They will increase your energy and give you more, let's say, joyful feelings. Almost the engine started. Almost there. The funniest thing is I have a trailer on the back. I have a full car of stuff, but that's okay. It smells like fuel, so it means the engine doesn't know where to hit the sparks, or the sparks themselves are not working, but it just stops down instantly. So maybe there's a connection problem or a position sensor problem, because it doesn't. The car doesn't even. So just like a strong disconnection from the sparks or ignition. So a really difficult question. What is wrong? But I will have some free time in my countryside to meditate and to maybe find a solution. So if you have any more questions, please write them. I have some couple of minutes, and there are a couple of people online. So yeah, here I am. Driving in the middle of nowhere. But you can hear the birds singing. It's a beautiful sound. Okay, I think I will end this video and just enjoy the now state. And see you guys soon in other videos. If you have any questions, please write them down on the comments. Bye bye. Ah, okay. No, there was okay. There's some comment. What do you think of New World Order plans? Is that correct? Will the collapse? I think, in terms of the self, what I could answer is it doesn't matter. It completely doesn't matter. But what I think is we are in good of positive changes. So I think the best what can happen should happen, and that's completely fine with me. So okay, I will end this video and see you guys on another video. Bye.